Good morning, Warriors. For me, it's morning here in Southern California. How's everyone doing? Today's a big day. We have Jack with us today. So I just want to let everyone know that I'm ready to talk to the author of Market Wizards. And this will be a bit of an abbreviated session here today. I just want to go over a couple of trading suggestions I made yesterday. They both are working, plus some other things that I forecasted are manifesting. So I want to start off with the euro. Yesterday on the post and during the live stream, I pointed out that we had a nice divergence up here in the euro. You could see that we did not confirm once we cleared out the stops over this double top. The trading suggestion was a short 22.65. I've taken half off here, plus 40. I still think there's more left to the downside. I'm not declaring a bottom in the dollar, but I do believe, like I said yesterday, we have a little detour that could even take the euro back down towards 121 in the days ahead. Also, today and the next day could be a special day in the markets because we do have a lunar eclipse. WD Gann paid attention, both lunar and solar eclipses. They're known for causing emotional moves and sometimes inflection points. So perhaps that's what's happening here in the euro. I also am still alive and took partial profits in the WTI trade. It's trying to fight its way back, but from the entry, I booked about 45 pips. We'll see if we could stay underneath the 66 and a half level. Above 66 and a half, it looks like we will make new highs. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to give it a chance. My stops will be over that. Risking probably total risk on the trade. Another good reason for booking partial profits is that if you leave your stop at the original place, your risk has diminished by how many pips you took on your partial. So even if we rally 66.50, it would have been an 80 pip loss if that happened, and now it's only going to be 40. So, that's a key, is to get to minimize your risk when the market's moving in your favor. Also very important to take a piece off and ring the register. It's not a profit till you take it. And I've learned over the years that many times when I take partial positions, I have another opportunity or two or three to put on the same trade because markets never move in a straight line. Every once in a while it's very directional, but there's a crude. Now, something else I mentioned here, I was posting this starting Friday in USD Canada. I thought there might be a chance for a third drive to a bottom, but as you can tell, we're breaking out of a falling wedge today. What I pointed out yesterday that I felt was significant is even when the dollar was up last week, you'd have Dixie up 10, 15 points. You'd still have Canada down 20 when it should have been up with a stronger dollar. And that wasn't happening. But if you look at yesterday's action, the dollar was actually down on the day, although it did recover. And yet Canada put in an update. So the behavior began to change in Canada. What could happen, even if we have a new low in the Dixie coming, is that, we could rally back to, 22 and a half or so, 23, and then the dollar makes a new low. And a real great market tell would be, after this rally ends and this pullback in euro completes, that we could have another low in the dollar, but not make a new low in Canada, depending upon how much upward progress it makes. Everyone with me? Give me why if you understand what I'm talking about. And also don't be, shy about asking a question. There's no such thing as a stupid question, only stupid answers. So, that's how you learn, is by asking questions. And if you're watching this live stream on YouTube, I really do advise you to recommend that you register at TradeGate Hub because, you know, first of all, I post there outside of when I'm live. And, there are some analysts you have to really check out. I've met one of the best equity traders in my career here at TradeView and TradeGate Hub. And I've been around for a while. You could tell my birthday is tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you my age. I'll just say, it's around the price of WTI. So, you have to check out Mike Venezia. He has the capability of absorbing so much information, filtering it not just for himself, but for people that are in his room, in his community, on TradeGate Hub, and coming up with actionable ideas and um, actual trades that he's taking for his clients, for himself. And, that way we have coverage in equities, we have coverage in FX, we also have overnight coverage in Asia and early coverage by Elliman in the European session, who is also an elite technician. So we're building this community not for us, but for you, and for you to really get the most out of it. It's going to include you participating and sharing your ideas and creating a mastermind community where we only have two eyes, but you put together, 50, 100 great traders in one place, and it's amazing. To me, I've experienced it. It's not a theory, it's a reality that I'm a big believer in social trading. One of the reasons I was so excited about the opportunity of joining TradeGate Hub, built communities on FX Street, uh, and that was mainly for the business model was for advertisers. Have built a community for a subscription service, and really, it's amazing. Um, the relationships and the content that you can have from people online that you've never even shook their hands. I do hope to, meet everyone in the company someday. We're spread out all over the world. But really, if you're looking for a place to spend time instead of being a lone wolf, don't isolate, collaborate. And TradeGate Hub is an excellent place for you to do that. Yesterday, I talked about this 4185 level um, in the S&P. Yeah, where was it? 4185, which was this level here that we actually tested right here, got down to 4181. It's possible that we get a continuation pullback if the dollar still has some legs. 4185 is important to me. It's holding. It gives me a measurement of over 4300 for this. But you can't rule out some type of pullback. This has been a nice rally. I wouldn't like to see anything deeper than 4164. If that happens, then you have to be open to the possibility that this is a failing rally and new highs are going to come after a bigger break. So keep an eye on this level. 4160. This is where these two moving averages converge. And here you are trading right up against the highs. To me, it looks like new highs are a higher probability than a big sell off. And, I was talking yesterday that the big rally really started, in March, but April, we really had acceleration. It really wasn't a risk on. So the big rally started in the spring. Spring ends in about 3-4 weeks. So perhaps the market could continue to finish this springtime period uh, very strong and then have more difficulties in the summer and fall. That's kind of the big picture for me. That's why people call me Noster Pinkert. And I certainly did forecast this pullback in rates um, from last week that this could be a failing rally. And if we take out this 148 level, 130 to 120 on the 10-year looks viable on a breakdown under 148. It's simple arithmetic. You had 177, about 30 bips from here would give you about 117, a little bit above the 200-day moving average. I would think that equities would take that positively, as lower yields are less competition, means that tech stocks can also have a pretty good rally. In fact, they have. The semis have been acting good. You just follow Mike. He made some great calls in coin. So, that's in the crypto space. And I want to talk a little bit about the gold here. Gold making new highs. Nice trade, Tim. Wrote it. That's one of the most difficult things to do. It's great if you can make a good call, good forecast. It's even better if you make a good trade and you pull some pips out of it. But the most difficult part of trading for me, so I'm assuming it is for most traders, especially people that trade on leverage, is what I call a great hold. And a great hold is, the way I overcome it is taking partials so that I still have something on for the move. But a lot of traders have this thing I call first daylight syndrome. And I know about it because I've had the affliction where you don't want to give up profits, but if you're going to have a great hold, you have to be willing to give up some profits, because as I said, markets will consolidate, they'll correct before making a continuation move. But we almost got up to the 61.8 level, and I was looking at silver, failing again. It only got back to 61.8. I thought we'd get up to 40, but failing here. I really still think that silver is a negative here. This is pretty ugly 4-hour candle, and I think that will attack this 27 to 26 level. And where I'm going to back up the truck in silver is going to be, maybe it's cleaner here, back down around this 22 level, back down around these lows. I'll be interested in what silver could do. Bitcoin still trying to climb above the 30,000 level. Here's your week. It's having a nice week. It's an inside week after a big crush. This could be actually indicative of the next move in crypto if we finish, and it's a high probability. Last week was such a big range that we have an inside week. And one of the most bullish things a market could do following inside weeks would be to take out this week's low, then later in the week take out this week's highs and have some type of outside week candle back to the upside above 40. So 40 grand still giving it a little bit of a problem, but you could see on some shorter term stuff, this is your 4-hour, we're starting to show some signs of life. My target from up near 60 was 36. It overshot it, trading above it. So I'm not 100% convinced. I find some better profit risk ratio trades. If you're going to trade Bitcoin, please reduce leverage because it's so reflexive. You can have, like you saw last week, $5,000 moves in a heartbeat. Excuse me. So I'm going to wrap it now. We're 3 hours and 15 minutes from a conversation with Jack Schwager. So join us. I'm going to wrap with Jack, and should be an interesting interview. It's about the 5th time I've interviewed Jack. On every time he had a book released, we would get together and talk about it. His newest book, released about 6 months ago, is Unknown Market Wizards. So I'm looking forward to this conversation, this interview with Jack Schwager. In a little over 3 hours, everyone's invited. And see if you could glean something out of things that we talk about that might help you in what you're trying to accomplish as a trader. Who knows? One day you too can be a wizard. So I'm going to wrap it with don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And we'll see everyone for the interview in about 3 hours. Good hunting. Remember to take partial profits and move your stops down to protect yourself and minimize risk at every opportunity. So, adios, everyone. I'll see you in a little over 3 hours. Thanks for your attention and look forward to talking to Jack. Adios.